Yes, this is it.
So this is my husband Dmitry, and I'm Jennifer Clarascura. Dmitry is a musician and a crazy flow writer, manifester, and I'm a dreamer. So, and I'm also a musician. We met in New York many years ago, and we love traveling together. And what better place to start than
Machu Picchu.
Ta-da!
So this, we were thinking about what to call it, and we decided we should call it just kind of all of a sudden kitchen talk.
Kitchen talks.
And now, how's that for a kitchen?
We're cooking. Here we're cooking.
We're cooking
in the energy that is Machu Picchu. It's amazing frequencies, so intense.
First of all, just the trip to get here.
So the main subject that we are trying to focus on is flow, whether it be out of flow or in flow, because we're constantly in and out of flow. I guess the goal is to always be in flow, but as human beings, that's pretty hard to keep flowing when things that you're attached to or that you fear come up and all these challenges.
I think that the flow is actually all about removing the obstacles, because deep inside we know what we love, we know what we treasure, we know what we're good at, and every time you do that thing, that one thing, it makes you feel really good. You get a little tingle in the heart, you know, you're like, your heart opens, your heart space just loves being there. So being in the flow means you really have to find those obstacles and recognize them and remove them. And the biggest ones that we found.
Well, it's not about removing. I mean, we
Right.
call it removing the obstacle, but it's actually the process is not resisting it.
Right.
You remove it by integrating it. So it's not.
You recognize.
It's not
it.
how you guys think it's. When we say remove, it means we have processed it and, I guess, recycled it, transmuted it.
I think that what's important about the obstacle is to recognize it. For example, if it's your fear stopping you from doing something you love, then you have to recognize it. And once you recognize it, you decide not to do it anymore because you're conscious. Consciousness about
Makes a difference.
Yeah, about your obstacles makes
Your manifestation.
Exactly. And what you're manifesting by removing the obstacle is you decide to go back into the flow. You give that river more space to flow. If your flow is like this, then remove the obstacle, make it like this, and then like this, and then finally you'll be standing here in this mountain behind you, and you'll realize that your flow is here. But that's for us. For you, your flow might be somewhere else.
But sometimes I question, like, no, your flow can be anywhere. That's my theory. But it's, are you in the present flow, no matter where it takes you? And that was my challenge because I wasn't. In the beginning, I was just struggling. You know, I got sick.
Altitude sickness.
Yeah, I had a headache, which made my body, I took a pill, which made my body, like, panic. And my heart was, and then I couldn't breathe. And so it was like, how do I find my center during all of that? And thankfully, I have Dmitry as a big reminder who is constantly saying, you know, just tune into the flow. Just talk to your body. Tell your body, right now we're in a different altitude. You're going to feel some changes. It's okay. Just go with it. And I never, he always reminds me to talk to my body, which is actually, I don't know if you want to talk about that. Why do you always recommend?
There's consciousness in every cell of your body. So you talk to it, you're accepting, acknowledging it, that it's all part of you, your being. So I think that our body is our vehicle. So our mind sets the goal. Heart and mind work together, set a goal, and then our body brings us as beings, as we know it, to that goal physically. So it's our physical temple. So the body has to know at all times where you are, what you're doing, and how you are responding to the environment. Because when Jenny was having problems, I kind of told her that you have to allow yourself to be here. You have to say, I'm here, I'm experiencing a little problem, but it's okay because,
right.
Hey body, how you doing? Come on, get on with me on the same train. So
not to mention the
enjoy.
energy that exists in Cusco and Machu Picchu. It's a lot of like you better open your heart here, you know. And if you start resisting, which is what I was doing, it was definitely. It's kind of raining right now, so we're covering the computer. It was definitely a problem in that sense. But you know, thankfully I tuned in. I did talk to my body, and I remembered the flow. And I'm having a great time now, even though I'm a little bit out of breath here and there. But everybody is. It's okay. It's just how it is.
Let's just say that
I'm taking it in, or I am taking it out. I don't know which.
you hear.
I'm here.
Let's just say that we in the royal summer palace of Inca.
They had to burn. This thing was covered in forest and nature, and they had to burn it out so you could see what you see, which is everything.
Each one, like there,
and they did find gold.
Is a temple. Temple of the sun, temple of the wind, temple of the three windows. Which, according to Incas, this guy just told me, the tour guide, she said that they believe in 3 chakras only. The wisdom, the heart, and the fertility.
Wow, I think we should, don't pause it, but just put the umbrella over the...
Yeah, we decided to stay here and still film. Solutions.
The flow. So we're protecting the camera right now.
The whole laptop.
Do you want to do that? You have longer arms. What I liked was there's a kind of like a terrace where all the virgins were said to hang out, and there's a yin yang. There's 2 pools of small, very shallow, round waters on the floor, and you can see the sun and the moon reflected on it, and they represent the yin and yang because the way the sun hits it through the windows, the stone windows, is in a diagonal, and then they would look into the sun and the moon and do their offerings or their prayers or for protection.
Use it as a mirror too.
Yeah, that's what they call it, the mirrors, no? What did she call it? Something about mirrors, but it's the mirrors.
The sun and the moon mirror.
Yeah, it was beautiful. For me, that was very, I'm all about yin and yang, so it was I took that one in.
I'll tell you right now that I've seen Jenny do all these videos and start this whole Dream Pioneers thing, and I really love it. I mean, I think it's great because it connects to people and allows, there you go, Peruvian cell phone ring.
Wait, let's start again. Katy, te llamo en un rato. Ya, chao. Okay,
there you go.
From the top.
So Dream Pioneers is really amazing because it allows people to focus on their dreams, something subconscious which is happening. And once you recognize the fact that...
Well, it's something that I'm trying to bring into the conscious. So
right.
It's like I said, it's the yin and yang. You can be conscious in the unconscious, or what people call the unconscious waters of your mind.
For me, the most conscious thing in this whole subconsciousness is the flow. That's one thing I believe in, and for me, it's the most important thing.
Why? Because you've tried it.
Yes.
When you're out of flow, I always hear you saying that part of the flow is when you tune in and reset back into your heart.
Exactly.
So,
I've been there.
So how is the heart with the flow with you? Like, is it one? Is that how you get into the flow, or is it just one of the ways?
Exactly. Heart and the flow, they're just... Flow comes from the heart. Your heart knows the flow. Your mind tries to create all these obstacles in front of you. Say, don't do it. You know, you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna have money. You're gonna create a fear.
Trying to freak you out.
Trying to freak you out all the time, and then you have to find enough guts in yourself to follow whatever it is that your heart's telling you. It's as simple as that. Just find your flow, and you flow. You know, like you might be standing in front of something, and you know that you don't like.
It might rain.
You don't. Yeah. You know, no, my
whatever. You know, anything can stop you if you get like really.
But my example was as simple as you're standing there, and you know that you don't feel good here. So all you have to do is just find your own space where you feel good. Because
you don't have to go along with where you're going along with. You can always step out. Like I used to be the kind of person that's like, no, I already paid this person, so I'm gonna go on their tour, and I don't want to be rude. And Dmitry was more like, no, man, find your person. Like if you're not feeling it, tell the person you're not the guide for me, and then go and look for whoever, or if it's not a guide, anything.
Exactly.
He always says, find your space. And I know in Don Juan book, Carlos Castaneda, there was one where he taught Carlos Castaneda how to find his space. space, and that also resonated.
That's
with
exactly
me.
what it is.
Oh, that's
I
what
got it from Carlos Castaneda. The guy, I liked it so much, I do it all the time. Jenny knows.
Even in restaurants, like sometimes we switch chairs like 3 times, and at first I would think it was annoying, but then I understood.
What are you, local?
Then I understood he's trying to look for
Energy spot.
He's always in the present, always trying to flow, and it's a great reminder for me. It's a great teacher for me that yeah, where you're gonna eat, you know, it could be a sacred act. You don't have to just eat anywhere. You can find the right place within the space that you're in and enjoy. If you're not in the right place, then you just have to not resist and take it in, because sometimes there's just no comfort zone.
Well, there's 3 things you can do. Equation of 3. Change the situation.
Accept the situation.
Accept the situation. No, actually, in this one, there's 3 different ones. Change the situation, change yourself, or create another situation.
Change yourself or create another situation. I like that, because usually people say change yourself, but then you also have the option to create, because we are creators. It's not just about being, it's also about doing. And this guy is about being and doing, and a lot of doing. So I'm a lot of being. So it's been great to teach him about being, and it's been great for him to teach me about doing.
And I think I want to talk about a dark side a little bit, because it's a very important part of our life, our soul, our spiritual progress. And I think that, yes, we can give in to dark side, and I mean,
our shadow.
We know the people that have gone there. We can point these people. We have gone to the shadow, but it's important to integrate the shadow into whatever you're trying to do, because we all know the shadow can only take you to one place of no return, pretty much. So, on your search of the flow
and
balance, the shadow, the dark side, or whatever you want to call it, is important because it allows you to be that. It actually gives you power to be that person that says, I don't want to be in this situation.
Right.
Some people call it ego. Some people say, oh, it's like it's
the balanced positive side of our shadow.
It's stepping away from the situation of, let's say, you in a group of people, and you say, I don't want to be with you, you know. And some people say, oh, he's ego, he's like this. No, it's your, dark side helping you to find your own spot.
Yeah, like why do you have to come, just because you were raised or you went to school with a bunch of people, and then we all, we just accept those people, which is fine, but then sometimes you outgrown into another flow, and so has everybody else. Or in a relationship, you've outgrown the flow of that relationship, and people stay in it because they love each other, but it's more like a comfort thing, and then they have to, it's always good if the couple is very communicative and find a flow together, and independently dream together. Even though it's together, it's still independent, but it's still a flow. Together it's more challenging, because guess what? I'm not always in tune with something that he wants to do, or he's not, but we find our own flow within our togetherness, and that has been
a blessing.
That has been a teacher.
Because it gives you your time to do whatever you like. It gives her the time to do whatever she likes. And then when we come back together, we have a lot to tell each other.
It teaches you everything. Compassion,
yeah.
To accept the other person as they are, and unconditional love. That reflects on your own unconditional self-love. So.
And therefore, when there is no flow, it's a stuck flow. And when it's stuck flow, you kind of start not feeling good. The situation, the houses don't get finished. The paint gets not selected.
We have a theory whenever we know people who haven't finished decorating their apartment or painting or something. We always wonder, like, there's something unfinished, something unsaid, like there's something that is going on, whatever it is, and it always ends up that relationship ends or something like that. So we weren't. It's not that we're judging them for not finishing, but when it's been a year or two and you're still not done,
to
or
me,
still
it's
haven't
like
transitioned,
the worst thing that can happen is a stuck flow. Therefore, for my own ideology in this life, is to find your flow, feel good in it, change yourself, change the situation, create a new one. It doesn't matter what you choose. There's no wrong decisions. And
that's the thing. There's no right and wrong decisions.
Exactly.
Whatever decisions you make.
It's your search for the flow.
Yeah. So no regrets in thinking, oh, why did I do this? I should have done that. I should have, could have, would have. And you just have to be like, all right, I needed to go here to go there. So.
I feel like I'm here for a big reason for me to cleanse my own karma, to cleanse my own flow. Finally, to see where my wife's coming from.
Well, I'm Peruvian, so he's always wanted to come here. But it's true, I feel the energy of my ancestors, and not only the Inca ancestors, I was telling him the alien ancestors. Because for me, this was both. And I've had many dreams in Machu Picchu where I'm hovering and flying over it in a multidimensional... In a multi-dimensional
hug it.
Dude, I did that without looking.
You can hug it.
Totally
Wait, hug the mouth.
Well, anyway, in a multi-dimensional reality, I have experienced Machu Picchu. So when I was meditating a little while ago, he went on the tour more than I did. I just stayed here watching the mountain, and I totally tuned into all my dreams of Machu Picchu that I've ever had. And the domes that I've seen, and the flying white crafts, and I took that in as well.
I think we should get going.
So anyway, we got to get going because they're going to close, but this is our new episode of Kitchen Talks, and yeah, this is what's cooking here, guys, so tune into the next one.
Hopefully you find yourself here too. Bye!
Bye!